Today, I'll be telling you about driverless taxis, which are one of the most significant recent advances, not only in automation, but technology as a whole. And although driverless cars, such as Tesla, have existed for years now, it's only right now that driverless taxis are just entering the market. And to understand why this is, you first need to understand how driverless cars work. Driverless cars, or autonomous vehicles, use sensors and artificial intelligence to autonomously transport people without any human input. And they use a method called LiDAR to detect their surroundings. LiDAR is basically radar, except more advanced, as radar only gives a rough understanding of the surroundings. However, we need a way better vision and understanding of our surroundings with cars to avert potential dangers at any second. That's where LiDAR, which stands for Light Detection and Ranging, comes in. By shooting many small beams of laser pulses, it can get a thorough view of an object by measuring the time it takes to bounce back. So LiDAR helps to quickly render a detailed profile of an object. With driverless cars, there are many levels of vehicle autonomy, which measures the amount a human needs to interfere. The SAE International, or Society of Automotive Engineers, have established 6 levels of vehicle autonomy, ranging from 0 to 5, where 0 being the least autonomous and 5 being the most, requiring zero human input. Okay, let's go more in depth through the different levels of vehicle autonomy. First, level 0. Level 0 has no automation and is completely manual, so the human performs all the driving tasks like steering, braking, acceleration, etc. And even though a warning or help system might be in place, the driver is still always the one in control of the vehicle. Next, let's move on to level 1. Vehicles at a level 1 automation level contain one advanced assistance system to help the driver with either lateral or longitudinal movement, for example, lane keeping or adaptive cruise control, respectively. However, they can't be used simultaneously, and the driver can on and off them at any time, so they're still fully responsible. Let's move on to the level 2 of driving automation. This is the final level where the human is still driving the car, and it contains two main features: steering and acceleration or deceleration. This means the car can do this largely on its own. And most driverless cars right now, such as Tesla, are at this level. Now on to the level 3 of driving automation. This is also called conditional driving automation and is where the car can practically drive by itself. This is where the human doesn't always have to pay attention but needs to be able to take control if required. That's why you can be in your cell phone and take calls, but you cannot sleep. In Germany, they unveiled this car to sale in 2022 to the public, where the speed limit was capped at 60 kilometers an hour, but it's rapidly advancing and now is all the way up to 130. Moving on to level 4 of driving automation. This is also known as high driving automation. And this is essentially a self-driving car and doesn't need human interaction in most cases. Here, the human can manually override if need be, and these cars are still not mainstream and developing rapidly, which is why these cars can only act in limited areas that have a speed limit of 30 miles per hour. And also, these cars are mostly in things like robotaxis, but they're still rapidly advancing into things like passenger car development. Finally, onto the level 5 of driving automation. This is also known as full driving automation, and this is a completely self-automated car. This means that the car makes all the decisions by itself, and it can drive in all types of conditions and all types of roads. Additionally, the concept of the driver is essentially lost because there's no things like the steering wheel or the pedals or the acceleration. Throughout all these levels of driving automation, there's been an extremely varying level of functionality. However, most driverless cars now, such as Tesla's autopilot feature, are only at a level 2. And only now are we starting to see level 3 cars emerge in the market. Driverless taxis are still a new technology and have a long way to go before they reach their latter stages. That's why companies such as Waymo, which is owned by Alphabet Inc., and Cruise Automation are trying to make their customers feel as safe as possible. What with incidents of malfunction by hitting dogs and driving into wet cement becoming seemingly commonplace, people understandably have mixed feelings, with some wanting a complete ban on the technology and others wishing for it to continue. All I can say is that I can't wait for this technology to further advance so that I can hopefully try out driverless taxis in the near future.